Today we're continuing to read The Brothers Karamazov. It must be lovely, a duel. Maria Kondratievna observed suddenly. How so? It must be so dreadful and so brave, especially when young officers with pistols in their hands pop at one another for the sake of some lady. A perfect picture. Ah, if only girls were allowed to look on. I'd give anything to see one. It's all very well when you're firing at someone, but when he is firing straight in your mug, you must feel pretty silly. You'd be glad to run away, Maria Kondratievna. You don't mean you would run away? But Smerdyakov did not deign to reply. After a moment's silence, the guitar tinkled again, and he sang again in the same falsetto. Whatever you may say, I shall go far away. Life will be bright and gay in the city far away. I shall not grieve at all. I don't intend to grieve at all. Then something unexpected happened. Alyosha suddenly sneezed. They were silent. Alyosha got up and walked towards them. He found Smerdyakov dressed up and wearing polished boots, his hair pomaded and perhaps curled. The guitar lay on the garden seat. His companion was the daughter of the house, wearing a light blue dress with a train 2 yards long. She was young and would not have been bad looking, but that her face was so round and terribly freckled. Will my brother Dmitri soon be back? Asked Alyosha with as much composure as he could. Smerdyakov got up slowly. Maria Kondratievna rose too. How am I to know about Dmitri Fyodorovitch? It's not as if I were his keeper, answered Smerdyakov quietly, distinctly, and superciliously. But I simply asked whether you do know. Alyosha explained. I know nothing of his whereabouts and don't want to. But my brother told me that you let him know all that goes on in the house and promised to let him know when Agrafena Alexandrovna comes. Smerdyakov turned a deliberate, unmoved glance upon him. And how did you get in this time, since the gate was bolted an hour ago? He asked, looking at Alyosha. I came in from the back alley, over the fence, and went straight to the summer house. I hope you'll forgive me, he added, addressing Maria Kondratievna. I was in a hurry to find my brother. Ah, as though we could take it amiss in you, drawled Maria Kondratievna, flattered by Alyosha's apology. For Dmitri Fyodorovitch often goes to the summer house in that way. We don't know he is here, and he is sitting in the summer house. I am very anxious to find him, or to learn from you where he is now. Believe me, it's on business of great importance to him. He never tells us, lisped Maria Kondratievna. Though I used to come here as a friend, Smerdyakov began again, Dmitri Fyodorovitch has pestered me in a merciless way, even here, by his incessant questions about the master. What news, he'll ask. What's going on in there now? Who's coming and going? And can't I tell him something more? Twice already he's threatened me with death. With death, Alyosha exclaimed in surprise. Do you suppose he'd think much of that with his temper, which you had a chance of observing yourself yesterday? He says if I let Agrafena Alexandrovna in, and she passes the night there, I'll be the first to suffer for it. I am terribly afraid of him, and if I were not even more afraid of doing so, I ought to let the police know. God only knows what he might not do. His Honor said to him the other day, I'll pound you in a mortar, added Maria Kondratievna. Oh, if it's pounding in a mortar, it may be only talk, observed Alyosha. If I could meet him, I might speak to him about that too. Well, the only thing I can tell you is this, said Smerdyakov, as though thinking better of it. I am here as an old friend and neighbor, and it would be odd if I didn't come. On the other hand, Ivan Fyodorovitch sent me first thing this morning to your brother's lodging in Lake Street, without a letter, but with a message to Dmitri Fyodorovitch to go to dine with him at the restaurant here, in the marketplace. I went, but didn't find Dmitri Fyodorovitch at home, though it was 8 o'clock. He's been here, but he is quite gone. Those were the very words of his landlady. It's as though there was an understanding between them. Perhaps at this moment he is in the restaurant with Ivan Fyodorovitch, for Ivan Fyodorovitch has not been home to dinner, and Fyodor Pavlovitch dined alone an hour ago, and is gone to lie down. But I beg you most particularly not to speak of me, and of what I have told you, for he'd kill me for nothing at all. Brother Ivan invited Dmitri to the restaurant today, repeated Alyosha quickly. That's so. The Metropolis Tavern in the marketplace? The very same. That's quite likely, cried Alyosha, much excited. Thank you, Smerdyakov. That's important. I'll go there at once. Don't betray me, Smerdyakov called after him. Oh no, I'll go to the tavern as though by chance. Don't be anxious. But wait a minute, I'll open the gate to you, cried Maria Kondratyevna. No, it's a shortcut. I'll get over the fence again. What he had heard threw Alyosha into great agitation. He ran to the tavern. It was impossible for him to go into the tavern in his monastic dress, but he could inquire at the entrance for his brothers and call them down. But just as he reached the tavern, a window was flung open, and his brother Ivan called down to him from it. Alyosha, can't you come up here to me? I shall be awfully grateful. To be sure I can, only I don't quite know whether in this dress, but I'm in a room apart. Come up the steps. I'll run down to meet you. A minute later, Alyosha was sitting beside his brother. Ivan was alone, dining. And that's the end of the reading for today. Have a good day.